What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because, gosh, crypto is so juicy, has the biggest upside and opportunity over the next year, and nothing's even close. We're grateful to have you guys along on the journey with us. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here. Hopefully my internet's okay. I actually refreshed my browser on the show and it looks like I'm not lagging anymore. So let me know if it lags, Dane, and I might end up switching my Wi-Fi. But man, I am just truly blessed to be on this amazing journey where we get to onboard people, entrepreneurs, friends, family into the crypto universe where that opportunity, like you said, Dane, there's nothing quite like it right now where we're at in the market cycle where we can use this as leverage to really accelerate our wealth, use it as a wealth creation tool, and then down the road, use some tools like business and merger acquisitions, oil and gas, and real estate as a wealth preservation tool and take you guys along for that ride too, if you so desire. It's going to be an absolute blast. And welcome to the 7th weekly red candle on Pulse Chain. If you guys are here right now, you have some serious diamond hands. You guys are the community at heart, the thriving heartbeat that keeps this, community alive. You guys and the builders are dragging us through the mud as always, and we love it, and we appreciate you for everything you're doing. I know it's not the guys in this chat who are on Twitter being toxic, so it's been just so much fun rocking and rolling with you guys. And man, I'm ready for this. I hope we stay down here in Goblin Town, Dane, for the next couple weeks. I want it, man. I'm all about it. I'm gonna put another big bullet in here coming up. And keep cheating your bags, toxic Twitter. Toxic Twitter, go cheat your bags. I am coming in heavy next week. So I hope to be down in Goblin Town by that time. Let's do it. Keep cheating.
Yeah, Super Snake nailed it. Lots of plebs toss their core RH assets into memes.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, and honestly, like you can't blame them that bad. 7 weeks of down, while all their stuff is popping off, you can't blame them too much. And we talk about it here all the time. You want to be wise about how you manage your portfolio. It's interesting to go through all the emotions and determine how you want to play the game. And lots of opportunity right now. So many undervalued things on Pulse Chain. Our friend Dylan has been buying ink. He loves to buy ink more than anything else in his whole portfolio.
Are you trying to get blocked, Dave?
Just kidding. Hex likes, or Dylan likes Hex.
Oh my gosh. I like buying ink. Ink. It's really kind of remarkable how ink has took the least amount of downward hit out of all the RH assets. It pumped the hardest, and it's correcting the least amount. It's really quite remarkable on how it's taken the downward pressure. If you can even look at it, Dane, to see like what Hex is down from its all-time top versus Pulse Chain versus Ink's like the least amount, man. It's holding its value quite well, which is I would not have expected that to happen because of it pumped the hardest. You would think that would be the one that would correct the hardest, but it's not been the case.
Let's see. So from this most recent pump, Pulse is down 66%.
That's right.
If we look at, let's see.
Look at Hex. Look at Pulse X. I mean, look at Ink, man. It's really, really funny. If you were the guy down there buying that 50-cent bottom like Brizology was, man, you're just holding your value so well. Nobody would have guessed that. Nobody would have guessed that. The contrarian play. Now to Dylan's credit, I think Hex is the contrarian play now. But Ink is holding its value up there, man. It's really, really odd to me. But there's Brizology. The ink maxis here.
All right, let's look at all of them here. All right, I've got all the core coins loaded up. So let's look at Hex next. Oh, not Hex.
That looks like a solid X to me. I can
Let's
tell
look
from the price chart, man. Oh, that's solid X. Solid X does not look bearish.
So Pulse X is down. So Pulse down 66%. Pulse X about 73%.
That makes sense to me.
Ink down. Let's see.
Obviously from the local. Yeah, that local top there. Can't take it from the
Ink down 68%.
Oh, that's ink?
Yep.
All right. It's been getting a little bit more wrecked than we were only down about 50 something percent. So I stand corrected on this. It's getting just as wrecked.
What is this? Hex down 72%. Yeah. So I mean, it's all kind of sixes. They're all down.
It's all
much
close enough.
Yeah,
it's all close enough. The ink just lagged. It lagged on its. It was last to correct is all it was. I measured it like I think it was last week, and it was like around 50% versus where everything else was like 60 plus. So
it's interesting. So Pulse has been the one to hold the value the best. It's not by a large margin, but in our quick rough measuring, Pulse has held its value the best, but it's all, it's all close enough that it's not that significant, which is interesting.
Yep. Norbert, what's up, brother, man? How you doing over there?
Yeah, all good. Sorry, I'm in the gym, so I try to be in a quiet zone as possible, but sometimes you might hear some music or people making funny noise like or whatever. Yeah, all good, guys. Really valid points you're making. But regarding ink, for example, if I may say, you don't really need guessing, because if you're guessing, then it's like you're just kind of gambling. You don't need guessing regarding ink because it's a crucial token. If you see it, for example, on BBC and 9inch recently pumped pretty well, it's a very similar concept that the way how it's designed is fair enough, is a reward token, but at the same time it has a function that you need that token in order to earn rewards. You have to pair it with something else. So it's a brick in a house, or like a sealant, like a silicon sealant not to get the rain in or whatever, I find it pretty fascinating that many people don't realize this function. And also it has good tokenomics that fair enough is inflating at the moment, but in the future it's going to be less and less inflation. And fair enough, we are down now because going back to my previous topics as always, that the consistency of the people, if you go back to what was the sacrifice amount for most of the project, it was either really high sacrificers or the majority of the people were sacrificing between $100 to $2,000 or something like that, which means, I assume, that those guys, they were throwing some money at it, thinking that last bull cycle we made 100, 200, 300, 400 X's on all sorts of shit coins. So it was a promising start to put something into like a project where the creator is a respected person, knows what he's doing and what he's talking about. But unfortunately, it didn't work out the way how those guys were expecting it. And the big guys who were sacrificing hard, they were still up and made a lot of money. So you can't blame them because, if I have 10 million or 100 million, and if I can double it, of course I'm going to take it, at least half of it. And then, the rest is for free. So that didn't help either. And then all these other guys that didn't have, that's the problem with people. Everyone wants everything quickly, right now. It's not the
28 days, bro.
Mindset. So what
28 days, the average holder of Bitcoin. Go ahead. Everybody wants everything quickly.
Oh yeah, everyone wants everything quick. No patience, and I strongly believe that our time will come, but the way how I see things currently happening, and obviously, like I said, I'm texted Richard that this outrage marketing didn't work because he was either pushing people away from the ecosystem, or he was appealing to a narrow group of people who not gonna be long-term holders. Let's say they just like flashy things, and hey, those guys not gonna stay for too long if they don't have their money. And but what I'm suspecting is going to happen is we're going to have our cycle. It's probably going to be a longer cycle than everyone expecting it, and we're going to have all the main tokens flying like Phantom, Solana, and all these other things, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And then when things going to slow down, then by that time we're going to be more stable, and then we have lovely people like Stefan helping and building. So by that time, we're gonna be more reputable, let's say, because we're gonna prove it that our ecosystem works, and then the founders and the content creators, they're honest and genuine, and they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, and then probably we're gonna attract the right people who's gonna be here for a longer term, and then we're just gonna take off and say goodbye to everyone else.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot a hole in your ink narrative there that the inflation gets less and less every year. That's incorrect. The inflation stays the same. It's just that relevant to the total supply of ink, it will get less to the relevant of the supply. But actually, the inflation stays the same year over year. That's just a narrative spun up by Twitter to get people to FOMO into ink.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm
That's okay. I love these narratives that I hear.
But you dig deeper. You dig deeper. But Hex has a steady inflation as well, and look what it did. Like it did significantly
look what it
well.
did. Down 99%.
Yeah, now it is down. Yeah, because of various reasons. But yeah, before that was pretty good.
We got Tom up here. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, man. I always watch from behind, but I figured I'd actually throw my face on this time.
I love it, dude. Yeah, I don't know if we've ever seen you on the show before. This is cool.
No, too embarrassed. So so I was looking. So here's something. I don't know what analysis you guys have done before, but I pulled up on CoinMarketCap. I pulled up ETH and Bitcoin, both the charts, and just kind of took a look at the distance between Bitcoin running and then eventually Ethereum running. And I don't know, in 2018, I thought it was kind of interesting. There's only like 38 days between the two. And then in 2021, it was like 100 days, between Bitcoin actually doing its run and then Ethereum catching up. And then 2024, it's like still the same. Like 85 days was kind of the average distance. Thoughts on that? I mean, do you think it's going to be like a whole quarter between like another run? Like it just doesn't seem like the market would keep that distance. So you'd think that those would get closer.
Shorten.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting data. So far everything looks like we're right on cue to the Mount Gox Ponzi cycle. We're following that cycle pretty close to a T, except for the exception that Bitcoin made a new all-time high before the halving, which has never happened before. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I hope that we do stay true to these previous cycles and previous time links, because that's just less probability of a left translated cycle, which we don't want to see. I would love to see us, Bitcoin come down into the 53 range, because that would be like that 39% pullback, and then Ethereum, waiting its turn before it starts to take off. There's a lot of people who are TA analysis on. If you look at the Ethereum or the Bitcoin dominance, a lot of TA guys are showing that there's some hinting of turning around happening here soon. Meaning, if Ethereum starts running on Bitcoin, that's when we might see a bit of a DeFi season again. Of course, it's not here yet, but we'll see. You got any thoughts on that, Stefan? I would love to hear what you dive a lot into this data and this stuff. I would love to hear what your thoughts are.
Hey man, how's it going, guys? How are you?
Good, man. Blessed.
Good to hear, man. Yeah, so what we're talking about, like ETH BTC, I didn't catch all of it. ETH BTC ratio, is that what we're talking about right now? Or
yeah, and the time that it ran between, Ethereum ran after Bitcoin. Sprague Burger, he's a TA dude. He said rising wedge pattern on BTC dominance will come down. So, which is right on cue for where we're at in the cycle. This is like where we're at, and how long that will take, I don't know what the average length of time there is, but it's interesting.
Good morning.
Yeah, ETH is yet to run. I mean, like when I look at 20.
That's just the ink
maxi.
That's just the ink maxi.
Yeah.
Ink maxi will.
I saw a pause and I went for it.
What do you think? Ink or BBC? Which is going to run higher?
Ink.
Oh yeah,
100% ink.
That's interesting.
We'll see. Maybe.
Well,
you got to remember who the biggest ink farmer is and where he deploys his capital.
All right.
Give us some context there. Who is it?
I'm calling 50. Yeah, Solid, man. Solid X is one of, if not the biggest, ink guys.
I think he's like number 2.
Guys farming ink. And
I think he's
deploys it into BBC and other tokens like that.
Here's the flaw in your logic. The Solid X guy, he's like rich, like Shaquille O'Neal rich, right? Like Shaquille O'Neal's super fucking rich,
right?
But Richard Hart is the one that
super
signed
rich,
Shaquille O'Neal's paychecks.
Yeah, to be fair, it's leverage on leverage on leverage, right?
That's the difference between rich
Vitalik
and
pays
wealthy.
us, and then
Shaquille O'Neal's rich. The guy that signs Shaquille O'Neal's paychecks, he's wealthy.
Well, we're all bonded in liquidity anyway. We're all going up. So if it goes up, we're all collapsing together, or we're all going up together. It doesn't matter.
Pretty much.
Is BBC oversold yet, or overbought? I mean, Money Gang.
Good question. I'd be looking at the Ink BBC ratios. I'm kind of playing that game. I mean, I have a pretty decent LP pool in that, which is earning approximately about 100% APR. So you can find that on the second best X. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I think it will have a pullback soon. But then again, I don't know. I got some bullish news coming up. So
I know
we got a few things in the pipeline and on the roadmap.
We got Ben Armstrong launching a meme coin over there, which that'll be fun. I'm happy for it. I'm all about it. We need this, by the way. Like, this is the stuff that we need, guys. So all you toxic Twitter cesspool people, this is the stuff we need. Don't make no mistake about it. So yeah, man, we're all about it, man. I'm glad he's participating over there. I'll probably, who knows, maybe I'll put a bullet into his meme coin and always try to 3, 4, 5x my pulse, out of that bullet. Is what I try to do. I think it could have a good run because it is. Is it gonna be another bin version? Is that what it's gonna be? Do you know the details of this thing? Do you have any inside scoop?
Not much, man. Like not much. I don't know. Ben says he wants to launch it and get it done. So look out for it. And I think our guys are gonna put some pulse up for everyone who's coming in as well. Like I think a portion of it's getting airdropped to Ben holders on ETH. So we're going to put some pulse up and give him a little bit of pulse to play with. But yeah, I think it'll be good for the chain. Hopefully gets a few users over. I mean, there's that. The other thing I'll say, I can probably share this on stream, but we're going to be on Mario Narfal's Twitch Spaces this Monday. both me and Hexy
Consistently, I
Bastard.
think, right? You guys are going to be on there consistently talking about meme coins and like the cycles and all that with meme coins, from what I hear.
Yeah, it's you know, I think we're just going to play the same playbook as B Roots, and we're going to be like, hey, this is severely undervalued. There's so much going on. There's so much opportunities going on. You know, a lot of people just look at it kind of linearly, like buy a coin and wait for it to pump. And you know, we're going to talk about, look, we're doing so much in terms of DeFi on Pulse Chain, but not just that. You know, the meme coin season has begun. Like, what is SolidX? It's a meme coin. What is, you know, Fire and Axis? They're all meme coins. Plus, you've got all the guys from HOA doing their thing.
HOA and Otropa.
But
I do want to point out though, before you.
Yep.
Like Hexy Bastard, man, and I give him credit. We've done it many times over and over on this show. I'm not a big investor at all in 9inch. I put like $1,000 into there at the bottom, and that was it. Like, that's my only investment in the whole ecosystem. I should probably change that. But I give him mass props because he paid a lot of money to be on Mario's first show, to be a sponsor of 9inch. And look what it did. It opened up doors. You pay to play. And now the doors have been opened up where he could come back and shill the crap out of meme coins and 9inch and Pulse Chain. Like, dude, seriously, man, my hat's off to that guy so much. Like, he's playing the marketing game the correct way. You have to pay to play in marketing. It's just how it goes. Unless you're like, you have billions of dollars and you're signing Shaquille O'Neal's checks and you're able to like pump up the price that way. If you don't, you have to play a different game, and that's the game the Hexy Bastard's playing, and so he's doing it right.
Yeah, and what else is going on, right? Like, you know, we gotta push it out. We gotta keep going. It's like, what value can we bring to the chain? And the guys behind the project as well, I'm very bullish on. You know, you talk about Hexy as well. You've got Kino and K9, who are behind the scenes, who work their butts off. Extremely smart guys. You know, just bring in something as simple as like some of the features from Solana's Radium DEX over to 9inch. You know, I'm not trying to just make it all about 9inch here, but it's just offering people different avenues. You know, the guys like Hextony and Dylan and Buck doing what they do on Fux, and then you've got like the 9mm guys as well. Gives you more opportunities and more diversity, and keeps these kind of farming pools very, very high, so that you get high APR. There's so much. I think we need to like tap into that and stop talking completely negatively about the chain and start talking about what can be done and what you can earn and what you can create. Because a lot of people are earning salaries just from LP, and like, I'm earning more than the average salary down here in Europe just from LP. So why not? You know, we need to talk like that, I guess. But
I talk good about it. I'm not even an investor. Like, I'm literally, like, I don't consider myself an investor because I put $1,000 in. Like, that's about it. Like, it's one of the most bullish things I see going on right now in the Pulse Chain ecosystem is the marketing that subset is producing. I absolutely love it. And it's reflecting the price chart, whether it is, you know, SolidX, him doing it, or I guarantee there's other community members coming in and buying this stuff up now because they feel more confidence in the 9inch DEX and ecosystem, where they, you know, in the beginning, there was some shaky confidence there. You know, I'm not going to lie. Everyone was dumping it and it was a little bit rough. It was like, okay, you know, Hexy Bastard was driving around freaking Lamborghinis trying to, you know, mimic the Richard Hart outrage marketing. That didn't take too well. We're like, bro, you're not Richard Hart. Stop that shit. And but I still, you know, he's doing good work now. So I'm happy.
Yeah, it's good to see. We want to try and help the chain as much as we can. If you guys got suggestions or anything, like, just chuck it across and we're going to make it happen. I think, you know, that's ultimately the goal. Is I don't want to just sit on my hands and like get all pissed off because the price isn't up and wait for Richard to pump bags or whatever. You know, I'm here to make some value and create some value and push content out there and you know, make something happen. Because we got the opportunity to do it, and all we need, like, people will come back when the price is higher. They will buy the green candles. It's like, people like things that are expensive. They buy things. They assign value to things that are expensive. So right now, when the price is down, they don't give a damn. But once the price starts moving, they'll start buying. It's just human.
I agree with that sentiment. So what's up, Briz, man? How you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right. You know, I turned on Telegram this morning, saw nothing but tears flowing out of everyone's digital eyes. I was like, oh, price must be down.
Yeah.
And then I came over my computer and I saw you guys were going on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me jump on.
I got a question for
the
you.
number one meme coin on Pulse Chain, which is Ink.
You're the Ink Maxi, bro.
Sorry.
So I'm not gonna expect
everyone
anything
else.
less from you.
We just got a 13x, man, from the beginning of April.
What was that?
As I said, if you bought on the 1st of April, you would be 13x up higher right now in BBC.
Nice.
Wow.
But I love Ink. By the way, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. I do love Ink. I really do. I'm a big fan of Ink. I'm in agreement with you, Bryce.
Briz, I got a question for you, man. Why the hell are you moving to Puerto Rico with us, dude? Why are you staying in California, man? That's like, dude, why would you want to stay there? I'm gonna fund California.
Yeah, it kind of sucks here, but like I don't know. All my stuff, I already got my stuff unpacked in my room, so like
come hang out on
the
island, man, and do Act 60 with us, dude. Like
I don't know.
I ain't moving taxes, dude, in 2025. Like, what are you doing? Like, get your ass out here, bro. Yeah, I'm bearish on California. Hex Monkey. I'm bearish on California. It's going to zero. Yeah, California sucks, man. The politics there, everything. Like, God. I'm from Arizona, dude. So, like, I mean, Arizona's starting to get Californian. A lot of Californians are moving there. And I'm like, man, I got to get out of Arizona now. That's why I moved to Puerto Rico.
I think it should be illegal for Californians to leave California.
Why?
Because they spread that bullshit everywhere else.
Yeah, they spread the bullshit everywhere else. Okay, yeah. It's like toxic Twitter.
Yeah.
We don't want those guys on our show.
I can say that confidently as a Californian. Fucking hate the people around here.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Why? Come on, dude.
Why are you there?
Yeah, you're not a broke pleb.
Dude. Here.
You're not a broke pleb. You can always go back. Like, literally, you can stay here 6 months and go to California 6 months if you want to go visit family and hang out with the family. That's what I do in Arizona. I'm probably going to go back to Arizona in September or October. Like, dude, you're not a broke pleb, bro. Like,
I've seen something like, you know, I don't think I'd ever do it, but I was thinking something more like Idaho. But I think that's a little too cold for me, though. I can't deal with the cold.
That's you sound like Dane now. Freaking bearish on the cold, man. He's like from Utah.
Bearish on the cold.
He gets that. I love the cold, man. That's because I'm from Arizona. The grass is always greener on the other side, man.
What do you guys think? I'm curious about Tom's question. Yeah, what do you guys think? And you guys in the comments too. I mean, do you think that we have a few more months for ETH to really like see some strength against Bitcoin? Do you think that's coming sooner than that? What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Briz.
You know, I just saw a headline about the ETH ETF being rejected.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like kind of like on par, right? So I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably gonna take another year, you know, for them to get that going, because you saw how long it took them to get Bitcoin going. And you know, even then, I don't think that will do too much for the price. I really just think it's all about the 4-year cycles. Like that's the money's gonna flow in.
This time's not different.
Pretty much now. You know, the only thing I could see is like, you know, maybe it just has an extended bull run after the bull run happens.
And elongated.
Yeah, that's really my biggest like black swan, or the real rug pull, is that everyone's gonna sell, and they're gonna sell like 70, 80, 90% of everything, and then it's just gonna keep going up without them. And then everyone's gonna be real sad because they're like, fuck, I sold at like 15,000 Ethereum and now it's at like 45,000. What the F? Anyways, that's probably my uninformed take.
I mean, the ETFs in Hong Kong look like they're approved and they'll be ready to rock next month. You got that by pressure theoretically, and the ETFs for Bitcoin have sent it to all-time highs before the halving. You don't think we see that same pattern with ETH?
I mean, like I said, I just think it's gonna run up with the 4-year cycle. So I think it's gonna be higher by the end of the year, and then I think by the end of 2025, it's gonna just have that blow off top, which we could bring it up to, who knows, 20,000 maybe. I guess the real worry about the ETFs is if they start rehypothecating the coins that they sell.
That's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it takes a little bit of time. Dylan in the chat says, yeah, it'd be nice if the China economy isn't wrecked so they could actually buy ETH. Yeah, that's a great point.
So, Dane, can I share my screen, what I'm looking at? Because maybe my logic is all sour in this.
So if you press present in StreamYard, it'll show your screen here, and I can bring it up.
I've got 3 screens, so I don't know which one's going to show. Oh, hold on. Okay.
Can I just say something to Red Squirrel in the chat? He says the cold is good because of less bugs. Well, I also live in like the smoggiest part of the state, and so we also have no bugs because of all the smog.
That's not a good thing, Briz. That, once again, is a bearish thing. Short California, guys. Just short it.
So I'm just looking at, I just pulled up Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in orange, Ethereum's in blue. And if I just look at runs, and this is based on percentages, so we're like 30 days for this first run that happened back in 18 between, Bitcoin ran and then Ethereum. You look at this. This is 90 days. Let's go. And then the most recent run, let's just take it from here. There's another 89, let's call it 85 days. Well, now we've got another huge run. If we're going to get back up to the same time, like we're talking like 100 days, which puts us in June, July timeframe.
I wouldn't be that surprised by it. There's a lot of people, a lot of the chart guys saying that they think we've got some time here before things start to warm up in the summer. So I wouldn't be that surprised by that.
This year historically is just a lot of sideways chop and a lot of more rinsing. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that I hope so, Tom, because I mean, I want to bring more bullets into the ecosystem. And so I would like to see some sideways or even more downward pressure. I always say Twitter, toxic Twitter jeets, go ahead and jeet your bags. I want to buy next month, please. So yeah, it's interesting data. I think you're probably hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah, so don't plan on a run until July.
What do you think, Briz? Briz has been around multiple cycles. What's your thoughts?
I have a formed opinion about this. So, from my experience, what tends to happen is usually about 6 months before the halving, people start pricing it in, and it does a run up. And I would say the same thing has happened already because Bitcoin's at all-time highs, right? So it does a run up, and then when it actually halvens, nothing happens. You know,
Like now.
people start looking like left and right, like what's going on, right? And then they go sell. Then the next guy dumps, and then the next dump, and like it usually takes like a little bit of a tumble, and then for until the end of the year, about quarter Q3, it usually does like a sideways crab market, and everyone kind of gets bored and like pissed off and disgruntled, and then in like November, December, it takes off. And then in 25 it starts to kind of like tumble back down and does like a little bit of a sideways, and then at the end of the year, boom, it just does a blow off top. So I kind of expect the same thing to happen. So what I'm trying to say is I think from now until the end of the year, it's probably going to be kind of a sideways, maybe sideways decline, and then at the end of the year we should see some
I hope you're right.
Good price action.
Oh my God, if you're right, bro. Yeah, I'm coming for some big bags.
So what do you think? What do you think? You think we'll hit all-time lows again?
Lows?
All-time low, yeah.
No.
Before the end of the year.
No way.
So we're kind of just where we're at.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much where we're at. And then I always kind of put it to like like during Christmas and like holidays with like Thanksgiving and Halloween, and people are buying all this stuff. It usually pumps up the markets, That's why we have Black Friday. It gets people out of the red into the black. They're just trying to pump up the markets. Like, it's kind of crazy how much we've been commercialized as a country. But that just pumps up the markets in Q4. And I think that will translate into the crypto market.
Not to mention that's the presidential election time too, which is pretty wild. Yeah. So depending on what goes on with that, what scams they pull around that, it's like.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how Biden expects to get reelected.
Votes in suitcases.
Tax.
44%, bro. 44% tax on your federal. Briz is going to be paying 44% on federal and another 44% to California. He will own nothing and be happy.
You don't have to pay taxes. It's
you
like
will own nothing and be happy, Briz. That's it. You're going to have to even pay your ink token over to the California government.
Here, I have another tip. It translates to taxes. You can conceal carry in all 50 states as long as you're not a bitch. You know what I mean? No one has to know that you're concealed carrying. You can just do it. So same thing with taxes, like you don't have to pay taxes.
Why is my face on this right now?
I'm sorry. ATF, IRS, CIA, FBI. I'm just kidding. Secret Service, all of y'all. Just joking.
Great advice. We are not financial advisors. We are not CPAs in the show. No. You can go out and buy real estate. That's probably the best thing to do. Maybe we could advise towards that, and that's about it.
I am not a gun instructor.
You're not. You can go to Arizona.
CPA, so you can take that to the bank.
And,
oh my God.
And we're not associated with Risology, whatever he says, his own opinion. And
I wanted to comment on one other thing. Norbert I'm so I'm what's the word? I'm impressed. Like we're always like trapped here. I always see like Corey in his little room. I'm in my room, even though it looks like I got a cool eagle behind me. I always see everyone trapped in their little room, but every time I see Norbert, he's out in the world. He's like doing stuff. And I'm so jealous. I'm just like, man, I wish I could be more like Norbert. I bet you Norbert's touching more grass than any of us.
We are stuck in our little
you're
rooms. This is
pretty
my
close.
crypto war room. Go ahead, Norbert.
Yeah, you're pretty close. It's a good assumption. Thank you so much. It's always good to be here with you guys. But yeah, I've done my first walk on the grass barefoot this year, and it felt so much better after that. So I highly recommend you if the weather allows you. Obviously, Corey and Dane, they can do it. But yeah, go for it and connect to nature. But if you would know my real circumstances, I live in a ex-council house, which is in a poor area. My room is extremely tight. So I spend as little as possible. Usually I'm active. I love driving. I always go around and do things. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're breaking
But
up
going
there,
back
Norbert.
to this 44% tax. Oh, yeah, the internet. I need to change the provider. It sucks. And they say they are the best EE. Is it better now?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
we can
you.
hear you right now.
Oh, okay, cool. So regarding this 44% tax, is a pretty complex issue because first of all, it's coming from a person who reads stuff from a what's it called, that machine which tells you what to say?
Teleprompter.
Teleprompter. Thank you very much. I had that word in my mind yesterday. So yeah, so the guy is reading something from a teleprompter. Pause. So if someone is gonna tell me that I have to pay 44% tax coming from a guy's mouth like that one, I'm not sure how it's gonna go through. Number one. Number two is, if he forgets one thing, is that all this is so he's going against one of the wealthiest layer of his own country, which I don't think is gonna.
And he's rugged.
And he's gone.
He's just giving us the goods too. You're back.
Serious. Yeah.
Are you
Go ahead,
there?
Norbert. Finish your thought.
I don't think he can.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, I'm here.
He's wrecked.
He's standing by the window.
Always.
Yeah.
Trying to get a better.
Better
I
signal.
think you're good now.
Just hold your phone like up like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So if guys who are in power, who are in charge, they're not gonna allow this to happen. That he just suddenly gonna come out of nowhere and say, "Oh, you know what? Unrealized gains, and then you have to pay me 44% tax." It's just not gonna happen. You know, that wealthy layer who's got a lot of money, they own a lot of stocks. So what about them? You know, like they're never gonna sell their thing, or if they're gonna sell their thing, any sort of stock investments, then it's gonna collapse the stock market because there's gonna be huge sell-offs at certain points in the time, and then it's also gonna give a chance for the market to manipulate it, because when the tax year comes in the US, everyone's gonna know that people are gonna sell the assets, so that's gonna crash everything. Am I right to say that? For example, and
Yeah,
number three is that if someone before the election comes up with the idea like this, I'm sorry, it shows me extreme weakness and incompetence. Because if you need this sort of extreme tax to hit the middle class and the upper class just to get more money, to, I don't know what to do with it, probably support some people who don't deserve it and they shouldn't even be in that country for the first place. If that what your plan is, then I don't think you're gonna have a chance for the next election to go through and lead the country as the next guy. Yeah, that's my thought on that.
Mark my words, the election will be stolen again, but we will have our first female president, Michelle Obama.
Oh, not.
Oh, you
bro.
mean Michael? You mean Michael?
Well, that's we're getting so banned, Dane. They're going to shut our show down. Yeah. So,
Did you see when Barack was making that speech when he was like, Michael and I, and everyone was like, who is Michael?
Other countries are looking more and more appealing every day, and I'm saying that from Puerto Rico. Like,
Man, that 44% any tax at this point is an insult when they just ship off our money to Ukraine and Israel and all these wars and bullshit. So,
all right, I'm going to put a claim against my unrealized losses too. So I'll be able to write off my unrealized losses from Pulse Chain.
Yeah.
Will that work?
Taxes are such bullcrap. Our ancestors fucking had a revolution over tax on tea. And look at us, 44% on capital gains.
That's why I'm in Puerto Rico, bro. That's why me and Dane are out here.
It's
We
still
don't have to worry
America.
about it. It still is.
Yeah, you made the right choice, guys. Definitely.
We have a step outside. We have one foot outside.
I feel so. Here's another thing. Like my ancestors got me all the way west. We started somewhere in Europe, and we kept going west until we hit the ocean. The only more west I can go is maybe Hawaii. So I feel like traveling eastbound is like betraying my ancestors. They're like, no, we got you all the way out that way. And then
you got to go with the times, man, where you're treated best, and I'm going to keep going where not only me and my family are treated best, but where my money's treated best. And if that means I have to go if I have to go to St. Kitts one day and, renounce the past, the citizenship and get their special passport that they have over there. I mean, depending on my economic status or where I'm at in life, that's always an option. I'm going to keep my options very open because it's for the best interest of me, my family, and my money.
I looked into St. Kitts a long time ago. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's an interesting, funding Jim's doing that.
You can get, I was looking at property over there, and you can get like a huge mansion for like $500K.
Where? Sorry?
A little mansion. It looks like a plantation.
St. Kitts. It's a here in the Caribbean too. Down here. Yeah, they got a special kind of like worldwide passport type deal. Gets you in most countries. You only have to be on their island or their country one day out of the year only. If you want to apply, you got to give them a one-time. I think it's $250,000.
Yeah, it's about 200 to 300,000.
Yeah, one time, and then it just grants you a lot of benefits worldwide, is what it is. Good
if
for
only my portfolio would do a 20x, then I could do that. Then I could afford to fly there, get that passport, and then just happy days. Then I would jump over to you guys in Puerto Rico.
I need a 20x so I can afford a hood for my car.
What car do you have, Brice?
Well, I have a Lexus IS300. But,
oh yeah, I like those ones. Yeah, they're pretty good.
No, it's kind of funny because the hood flew up a long time ago, and so I drove the car for like 2 years without a hood. But the joke is I actually have a hood for it now. So
Brizology is a very crypto rich, and in his real life, he lives under a bridge and he drives a hoopty of a car. And
the government, they're like, "Oh, we're going after this Briz guy." And they look at my bank account, and there's like 1,200.
Yeah, when the tax return comes, you're just gonna send an email with a selfie, like no hood on the car. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I need the money for the new hood.
Yeah, I mean, what are they gonna do? Kick me out of my upstairs apartment? right? They're gonna take my 20-year-old Lexus.
I like that meme that goes around Twitter where it's like just it's like a blanket on the ground and this like little like 40-year-old TV, and it's like crypto bros will have millions of dollars in their portfolio, but will live like this.
Girls hate
Well,
how
these
little it takes to make us happy.
apparently these days it's good to keep it low profile because so many people are disappearing who's got like millions in crypto and stuff like that. So even if you
Well,
make
those
it,
are the
guys,
guys
just
who
be
are-
humble about it, you know.
Those are the guys who are pushing back against the system. Like, for example, the stablecoin DAI creator, who he ended up actually gone missing in Puerto Rico, and then he showed up in the water, and supposedly he drowned. Yeah, right, drowned.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
But like, you know, he kind of shook the system by creating the DAI stablecoin and trying to really make that decentralized, and now it's more centralized than ever. And so it's just interesting to see, you know, people who are shaking the tree are the ones who come out. People who are just kind of, you know, stashing away like squirrel nuts, the crypto and making money that way. I don't think you have really nothing to, you know, there's no threat on you. It's when you're shaking the tree, man. If you want to live, you know, under a bridge and have, you know, millions of dollars in crypto, I think you're going to be okay.
20 years old Lexus and you're fine.
Yeah, it's the guys who are shaking the tree, man. Those are the guys who are having
fair enough. You don't want to poke the lion in the eye, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you know,
system,
when
right?
you see these new legislations, we have this platform exchange we used to get the money in and out of crypto, and it's a reputable company. But our regulators, they put a pressure on all of those guys, and then everyone had to fill out a questionnaire, which was, you know, test that you have a clear understanding is what crypto is about, what sort of risk you can expect and stuff like that, which is a good thing. But at the same time, one thing made me kind of suspicious and see it clearer. You know what the new rule is? There's 3 groups of investors who can participate in crypto in the United Kingdom. The first group is investor who's like has no idea, don't know what they're doing, you know, like they think it's like they put in 100 pounds and it's gonna become 100,000 and there's no risk involved. So those guys, you know, you're out of the picture straight away. The next category is the guy who is trying to make it in life, just like myself. And they put you in a category that do you have less than 100,000 pounds of wealth at the moment and income at the same time? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. I'm a freaking employee. You know, I don't have that kind of cash sitting around, and I don't have that much assets either, unfortunately, because I made many bad decisions in my life. So if you do that, then you're only allowed to invest 10,000 pounds in crypto, or $10,000, whatever is going to be in your area. But here is 10,000 pounds. And you agree that you're not going to invest more than 10,000 pounds this year, this financial year. And last year, you didn't invest more than 10,000 pounds. In the next categories, you're an expert and you have more than 250,000 pounds. And then those guys, they can do whatever they want. So for me, it looks like that you're trying to hold me back, not to go to the next level, and then say like, no, you stay there, man. You stay there. You sit down, man. So how? And they say it that is for our benefit. If you want to categorize me, and you don't allow me to grow and flourish, then it says exactly the opposite about your action, in my opinion. But yeah, just so 44% in America, 10,000 maximum investment in the UK. So, and it shows how desperate they are, man. They're trying everything. Look at that guy in the SEC, man. That guy is like, seriously. Yeah, these guys, yeah. They're not doing it right. Yeah, those guys, yeah, they're not doing it right. And then the judges are like, what are you talking about, man?
Dylan, you would not even be able to keep up. Dylan, let's race for pink slips. How about that, buddy? I hope you like tail lights, because that's all you're going to be seeing when you race me, buddy. How about that?
The onlookers can bet T-shares on the race. It'll be great.
T-shares.
FYI, I probably shouldn't tell you this. I'll just like make you think it's just a Lexus, but it's a 6-liter Chevy engine with a 6-speed transmission, and it hauls ass, buddy. You better be making 1,000 horsepower if you think you can even keep up with me, buddy. That Lexus is a beast, all right? It's an absolute unit.
Prime entertainment here. I'm telling you guys, this has been fun today.
Very
This is how we
sophisticated.
make millions.
Very sophisticated. That's
Only in
probably
crypto.
a pretty decent place to wrap, unless you want to get into something else, Corey.
I'll race you with my windows down.
I raced TGE Hex Audi and smoked it. He raced the Hex Audi. That's interesting.
I actually just bought a new car recently.
No, me too.
I
What did you
think
get?
it's
IRS is
super
taking
cool.
note.
It's a super cool little car. It's an all-wheel drive, turbo 4-cylinder Volkswagen Golf R.
Yeah, my man.
And,
My
and
man.
that thing is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys this: if we get a 10 or 20X, I will do a RS3 swap into the Golf. Dude, that's a thing. They take the RS3 engine and they swap them into the Golf, and they basically convert the Golf into like a little miniature RS3. And those things are awesome.
If you do
only
those
a-
numbers, then you can just get your RS3 straight away. You don't need any swapping and things like that. Why would you do that? You don't want to show off. You want to keep it low profile. Yeah, Volkswagen, the people's car. You just want to stay. You want to keep it low profile.
Honestly, I just like having unique cars.
Let's clarify: a 10X on Ink, a 10X on Hex, or a 10X on Pulse.
Yes, sir.
All of it
In this order.
in that order. Okay, got it.
Just buy an RS3. That's what people said when I V8 swapped my RX-7. Just buy a Corvette. No.
Bro, I love Corvettes. I'm a Corvette maxi.
Corvettes are cool. I was thinking, I'm like, man, should I get the C7? I really like the C7s.
I like the C8s, man. I love mid-engine.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a real Corvette yet.
Oh, it feels like a Lamborghini. You're just getting a Lamborghini on discount. That's all you're doing.
Well, why can't they just do that? They call it the Corvette Guinea or something.
Corvette.
I don't know.
Corvini.
You know what upsets me is when they made that new Ford Mustang, but it's an SUV. I'm like, you could have just named it anything else.
Anything else?
Even like, what was it? The Cougar or something. Call it a Cougar, or I don't care.
I owned the C5, Dylan, before. I owned the C5, C7, and C8.
When they made the truck, the Maverick. Come on, guys. Come on.
Tom, please, just to cheer you up a little bit. I know that we cannot join this conversation with telling these guys what sort of supercars we have. So in the green room, once the show is over, we can talk about our, whatever $1,000, $1,000 car.
98 Silverado, man.
I will say this, little dilly dally. Those Ford Explorers with the turbos, they are pretty legit. They seem pretty fast.
Well, if we get a 10X Briz, I'm buying the E-Ray, the new electric Corvette coming out in 2024, and then we'll race.
Nice.
Apparently, we all need to sell in a 9X. Then these guys just gave us the price target.
Now we know the target. Only allowed.
You guys heard it here first. It gave you a opportunity.
You heard it here first. Change your limit to 9X.
There'll be a correction at a 10X. There'll be a correction there, but everything's got to drop after a massive pump, and it'll continue pumping again. So
Yeah,
I
inside.
believe I got extreme confidence.
yep. Cool. Well, no, man, I'm good, Dane. Let's wrap her up and go grab some lunch, man. And I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend. We should be back next week with our normal schedule.
Yep. It'll be fun. Yeah. Thanks for you guys tuning in. Thank you for
Thanks,
the ones
guys.
jumping on the show today and being brave. You guys in the comments, once again, you guys make the show what it is. And we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
All the
Peace.
best.